district coming down. You did condone. You're not actually on it, so don't worry. It's just this screen. Where is? There it is. All right. Can everybody see that photo? No, it's not Christopher Columbus. That is far too feminine to be Christopher Columbus. I hope. All right. What do you see? All right, one person at a time. Let's start with Caesar. What do you see? Okay, a box. A what kind of box? A voting box. How do you know it's a voting box? It's called a ballot box, yeah. Which is how you know it's one. What do you see, Het? The 19th Amendment. What is the 19th Amendment? For women. There we go. Okay. All right. Your name just fled my mind. Oh my gosh. Oh no, because I was looking at you earlier and I was like, okay, I know who you are.
Maybe she was sitting over there. Well, where's Keegan?
No, I haven't taken roll since we started because I don't know what day it is, generally speaking. That's John. That's John Patrick. I got him now. Because I've been calling him Adam. Oh my gosh, what is your name?
Let's start with that. Yeah, literally all of
Maggie.
them.
No, Maggie sits over here in my other class.
No, Maggie's a good name, but I get from like.
Good morning, Grissom High School. Please rise for the pledge.
Two
I
flags.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the announcement. Voting for homecoming queen has been extended to Friday. There's a host of meeting today via Zoom at 11:50 to 12:15. Come vote for a t-shirt and sign
It's
up
been
for
so long
competitive
since I feel like I've seen
Have a
you
good day,
guys.
Grissom.
That's Melody. Hang on, I need my cheat sheet.
I finally stopped calling Caesar, Soren.
My name is
Michelle. Rodolfo.
My name is not Michelle.
So I'm getting something.
I like to think. Okay, I think you're really cool, right? And so when she said Michelle, I thought of like a TikTok song.
Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Mackenzie. Okay, that's at least somebody. You're Mackenzie, you're Melody. Your name is still.
It's like two names combined.
Is it Mary Beth?
Yeah.
Is it really Mary Beth? Because I've been sitting here going, it's not Mary Beth. That's not it. I don't have a Mary Beth. I do have a Mary Beth. This is not the right list. Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, on there. So
Yeah, it
hopefully
is.
it is the right list.
And then Alex. I know Alex because he made a sandwich. And then Het. And then John, not Adam. You're not Soren. Stop it. Stop it. You are not Soren. He's not David. And that is not Adam. You will get through that. Let's be real. I barely know what day it is. Most days this week. I think it's about to be Thursday. I kind of hope it's Thursday. Look, y'all, just be glad you weren't here Were y'all here yesterday? No, y'all didn't have to. Why were you here yesterday? Oh, you were taking it, the test? Oh my gosh. It was awful. We sat in here for 3 to 4 hours and nobody wanted to talk in my class.
That would have been fun. I don't like.
You couldn't turn on roof.
Well, they were all doing kind of their own thing. They all watched movies. I watched Ghost Hunters. BuzzFeed Unsolved, that's what I was watching, yes. I love them. Good, I'm glad you like them because we'll watch a couple episodes with them. I'm sorry about the language, but yeah, oh yeah. They do a really good job on. Ryan? Yeah, it's Shane and Ryan. I don't like the newer ones without Shane in them because Shane is like my spirit animal. So, well, but they do have a couple of really good ones that will pertain to this class. I just have to go back through and find them. So it'll be fun. Anyway, back to what we see. So we've seen a ballot box, which is the votes, 19th Amendment, which is the right to vote for women. All right, and who is up on top of the ballot box? She, a proper lady. Who said Cruella? It is not Sacagawea. It's just a woman. We will call her Cruella because that is kind of my favorite thing. All right, so the 19th Amendment, what do you guys think this means?
The 19th Amendment was the ladder for her to get on the ballot box so she could vote. It was her aid.
Right, so the 19th Amendment, is this when, what does it say at the bottom? The very, very bottom. So what does that mean?
They were working really hard to get to this.
You guys are like way overthinking it because all I was looking for was it's the passing of the 19th Amendment. So y'all like went above and beyond. All right. All right. So we know how it changed the 19th Amendment. Does this cartoon appear to be in favor or against? How do you know? Okay. All right. All right. So the end of the climb, we said, means that they made it to the end of the road. This cartoon is from the 1920s. All right. When was the 19th Amendment ratified? Close, not the 30s. Did you say 25?
She said, okay, this is from the 20s.
This is from the 1920s. 1919, yes. 1919, 1920-ish, all right? You're supposed to know these things, man. All right, aside from the right to vote, what else could the cartoon be suggesting about changes in the ways that women might be living?
The way they dress.
Okay, how is she dressed?
She's got a big coat on and she got.
Did you say she got the fit on? All right, she got the. She looks successful, right? She looks like she's doing all right for herself as far as jobs go.
So you guys are just like set in 20s, like how is she's like a performer sometimes, that's how they dress. And like she has like the feather hat, looks like it, and like the big coat, so, and also the way she's standing.
All right, so she's doing fairly well for herself, right? There's one more big thing that you can pull from this.
The way she's posing.
No, that's not the way she's posing. It's not necessarily the end of the climb. It does have to do with the ladder. It does have to do with the fact that she is standing on top of the box.
She's the other one there.
Yeah, okay, so why would that be important?
Because only
Is it
successful
single
women are
women?
listening, like successful women who are like important.
Not quite. What'd you say, Caesar? Not Soren?
Dealing with like celebrity women.
All right, so she's well off. She's doing okay for herself, right? She's the only one on the ballot box.
Oh, I said it was pointing out only women.
What about only women?
That they couldn't vote.
Only rich
Or
women.
that they get in the vote. Vote now.
Did anybody help her up the ladder?
No.
Did she climb it by herself? Is she an empowered woman? Yes, that's what it means.
Oh.
That's the other side of it. So it is showing women's empowerment, women's ability to do things on their own. Yeah, because they got the right to vote and the 19th Amendment and all of that. So there you go.
That 19th Amendment right there.
No, that would be the 1970s that all started. So that's the second women's movement. We'll get to that one next year. Yeah, you can delete it. All right, so that's our bell ringer. We're going to start doing that because I found this really cool Roaring Twenties book. It's got pictures in it. Put it down there. And I spent all this time coming up here and fixing them up, so. That's very cool. All right, so we're going to talk. What do you guys think we're talking about today? Don't look at the board. Look at me.
Empowerment.
Women. Women's suffrage. Oh, no, that's who you're supposed to vote for homecoming queen. It's Miss Marchbanks' daughter. Do what?
We have like a guy's name.
Cadence?
Dated.
Cadence.
I know a guy named David.
I know a guy named Caden. I don't know any men named Cadence.
I know a guy named Jaden.
I'm pretty sure they try to name her after Candy.
It's Miss Marchbanks' daughter down the hall. So she's like, hey, y'all vote for my kid. Tell everybody to vote for my kid. And I said, hey, solidarity, let's do it.
No, I think it was supposed to be Candy was named his place for it.
Do what?
I think it was supposed to be Candy, I mean, Candy for this place. I think it's Candy.
I think it's Cadence, yeah. I'm pretty sure they were like, Cadence is a pretty name. I've heard of people named Cadence before. Cadence. Yeah. All right, so there are two big women's movements that take place in the time period that we're talking about right now. There will be another big, the rise of kind of like feminism that we know today. That doesn't happen really until the 60s and the 70s. This is more of what you would consider a traditional female platform, if that makes sense. All right. So this is about gaining the right for women to vote, and it's also about gaining rights for workers and having them be protected. So this progressive movement is all about the ideas behind protecting the people from this overwhelmingly capitalistic, I don't want to say empire, but industry that has taken over. So at this time, there were no government regulations. So if you were a 7-year-old child, you could go to work and you could work 30 hours a week and you could be 7 years old. All right. There were no protections put in place. There was no workers' comp or anything like that. So these movements are going to be the movements towards social, the original social justice. All right. The first one is going to be with like Elizabeth Cady Stanton and all of that, and it's going to be Seneca Falls. We will probably watch these videos at the end of class. If not, then watch them on your own time. But we'll get to it here in a bit. And this is where Seneca Falls happens in New York. This is where they come together as a body and have a debate over women's rights. They did not get the vote passed in the late 1800s. It did not happen until the 1900s, until the Roaring Twenties and that little period right before it. All right. Women voting is going to be the second big wave of it, and this is going to be led by what's her name? Last name is Kat, and she's going to be the woman in charge of the National Women's Association, and Alice Paul, who was part of this more radical movement that protested and pushed the government to make this happen. So Alice Paul and her friends were more like the on the street people, and I can't remember her first name. Her last name is Kat, though. She was more of the political mover. All right. So what we're gonna do? You can go ahead and grab your laptops because you are gonna need them. Why is that like that? That's weird. All right. We're going to look at arguments for and against women's rights. Okay? Unfortunately, all of the women sat on this side of the classroom.
Are we discussing?
Yeah, we will at the end of this. We will. All right. All of my women are sitting over here except for Alex. So Alex, welcome to the women's club. You guys are going to be for women's rights. Okay? Your argument is for it. Guys, y'all don't want the women to vote, okay? Men empowerment, all right? All right, so everything that we're going to read here in just a few minutes, and we're going to go through the first two together, and then there's another 5 for you guys to look at as a group and answer those questions. And then for the last 30 minutes, we're going to come together and talk about anti-suffrage versus suffrage, okay? Each of them, I want you to look at it through the lens of your statement. So you guys read everything as women need the right to vote. When you are reading the for, those are some of your main points. When you're reading the against, that's what you've got to combat. All right, same for you guys, just the opposite side of that coin. Make sense? Yeah? All right, I've been talking a lot. Who wants to read the first paragraph?
Petition for universal suffrage to the Senate and House of Representatives. The undersigned women of the United States respectfully ask an amendment of the Constitution that shall prohibit the several states from defranchising, prevent a group of people from voting. Any other citizens on the ground of gender. In making our demand for suffrage, we would call your attention to the fact that we represent 15 million people, 1/2 of the entire population of the country, intelligent, virtuous, civil-born American citizens, and yet not provided with political recognition. The Constitution classes you.
No, keep going.
Oh, not that one.
No, keep going.
The Constitution classes us free people and counts as whole persons in the basis.
States. Why would it matter what the states do in voting?
Each one has a number and
Just assume it's head. At any point in time, if somebody's laughing inappropriately, just assume it's head doing something inappropriate. Because as a woman at this time, you could own your own business. You had freedoms. You just couldn't vote. How are they not represented? What? When he grows up, I think the man that like is seen as like responsible and important and like reliable, like he's the one who's making the decisions. And the women are just kind of like young girls. They're like, oh, it's okay. She can say what she says, but that's just. Very good. Okay. Do you guys think that women in the 1900s and 1920s, do you guys think that they were probably pretty smart? Did they receive the same education as men? Yes, they did. They did. Women received the same education as men, starting in America in the 1800s. I think probably 30s. But women had like sewing and all of that. Anyway, okay. So women have the same seen a couple of them, so we'll go through these like education, where they were raised, and second period. So saying probably their emotions, they can think for themselves. They can think for themselves. Emotions, that's not fair because women, we had it rough with emotions. All right, so you guys are going to start, and you're going to go through document 3, 4, 4 in 2 parts.